Something wild is brewing with the New York Knicks as the Knicks have some clearly insane plans that has been revealed by a recent move from the team, especially after there has been a lot of talk surrounding Giannis Antetokounmpo and his future, or the lack thereof, with the Milwaukee Bucks. There's a lot to go over right now with the Knicks because they just made a very, very important decision that is going to dictate a lot of trade talks down the line for this Knicks team, including this season, but also come the offseason as well. While also, no matter what happens, there will be a big-time subsequent decision right after that, guys. And before we jump into all of it, guys, if you're part of that 56% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Knicks update. We got videos coming out every single day regarding the Knicks that you don't want to miss out on. If you want to show everybody that you know ball, this is the place to be to know every single thing about the New York Knicks. But let's jump into the video, guys, because look, the team is planning something huge right now. It's very clear that the New York Knicks are up to something wild because look, here's the deal. Karl-Anthony Towns has been one of the mainstays of the Knicks recently, and the Knicks made a very, very important decision regarding his future with the team after what's been a rough season. The Knicks decided to not give him an extension on his contract, and Karl-Anthony Towns said, I want to stay here. Obviously get a chance to be home, see my family. It means more than the money, you know? So just to be able to be here with the fans, be with the family, it means a lot, and I would like it to continue. So Karl-Anthony Towns has openly spoken on the fact that he wants his contract to be extended. However, the Knicks ultimately opted to not extend Towns' contract. That is not anything to do with specifically the way Towns is playing this year, except for the fact that it kind of is. Because when you look at the Knicks, they are very much in a weird position. It's not exactly clear if Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson are going to be in a championship-winning duo because both of them do have defensive weaknesses. That's been something that has been brought up time and time again throughout the last season and a half now regarding the Knicks and regarding Towns. And obviously, Brunson's not going anywhere. So if anyone were to get moved, it would be Karl-Anthony Towns. The question is, what do you move him for? Where do you move him? And what do you do exactly with this situation? And frankly, here's the deal. There's so much to think about with this right now. I mean, when you look at Karl-Anthony Towns and his contract, he is on a very big deal that in the final year where he has a player option when he'll be 32 years old, he would be getting paid $61 million. If the Knicks gave Towns an extension, it would be a 2-year deal worth up to $150 million, meaning Towns, when he's 33 and 34 years old, would be getting paid an average annual value of $75 million. That is a lot for Karl-Anthony Towns. In fact, that is too much money for Karl-Anthony Towns. This is almost too much money for Karl-Anthony Towns, if we're being honest. One of the reasons why the Timberwolves traded Towns is because of his contract. It was really hard to sustain, and the Knicks are now witnessing a similar thing, considering Towns is not their franchise player, although he is being paid like one, while Brunson is not, because Jalen Brunson is the greatest person in history and took that pay cut for the team. Now, Stephen Bondy did talk about this, saying Towns and the Knicks failed to reach an agreement during the extension window before the October 20th deadline, when he was eligible for 2 years and $150 million tacked on to his current deal. He will again be eligible for an extension after the 2026 NBA Finals that the Knicks are going to win, according to the ESPN front office insider Bobby Marks, when Towns' max would be around 4 years and $260 million, which obviously is a boatload of money. The center is unlikely to command such a high salary, but it still could sign at a lesser amount. He still could come back at a lesser amount. And Towns said, me and Leon Rose and Garrison Rosas and everyone, we're great. I'll go have lunch with them right now. We're good. It's just a different place I'm in our system. Totally different system. So when I'm 5 or I'm 4, it's a totally different script for me in the game. Trying to impact winning as much as possible, and I'm happy to be able to do that so far this year. The problem is Towns has had a bit of a rough start to things. What's crazy is for Towns, putting up 22 points and 12 rebounds per game is kind of a rough start to things because he's only shooting 33% from deep. Towns last year shot 42% from 3. They need that version of Karl-Anthony Towns back, and though he's shown glimpses of it, it's really important that Towns is able to do that. Towns also knowingly didn't mention Mike Brown there. Towns has not really understood where he fits in Mike Brown's offense. That's what he said at the beginning of the year, and he still looks a little bit shaky. While guys like Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride all look excellent in it, Towns is struggling to find his rhythm and find his way in where he fits because he's bouncing between the power forward and the center position. Towns doesn't really care which position he plays. He's never made it that he's insisting on being a power forward the way that Anthony Davis likes to. He just clearly is thrown off because he has to change what he's doing quite often. So with Towns, that is going to be something to really look at when you just look at everything that's going on with him right now, which is super, super important when considering everything. Now, Mikal Bridges, he also didn't agree to this 2-year contract extension a year ago, but this summer, the Knicks did agree to Mikal with an extension where Mikal is getting paid good money. In the final year of his contract with a player option that he will opt into, he'll be getting $41 million. It's a ton of money for Mikal Bridges. He's on a deal where the average salary is $37.5 million, a salary that is backloaded, meaning it increases on value each year, and he gets the most money paid in his final year of his contract. With all this in mind, it's very, very difficult to find out what exactly to do with Mikal Bridges and how exactly to find the rhythm and find what you want to do with him going forwards. Now, with Mikal, it's a little different because Mikal Bridges is super, super, super talented, but he's not the all-star that Karl-Anthony Towns is. He's also not mentioned multiple times as a trade chip the way that Karl-Anthony Towns is. Towns also just had his best game of the season against the Celtics where he put up 29 points, 7 rebounds, a block, and went 2 for 6 from 3, which is still around exactly his season average, but at least he's finding more rhythm, and he was able to attack down low and look pretty good. He was complaining a whole lot, but still, Towns did look like the best player on the floor for the Knicks, or second best. Mikal looked like the best player on the floor, but Towns still looked very good. With all this in mind, it's very difficult to decide what exactly you do next with Towns. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Are you going to re-sign him? Are you not going to re-sign him? There's a bunch of different things to do there. Now, we know that Giannis Antetokounmpo just took away all the Bucks stuff on his current social media. All over, he has eliminated all the Bucks stuff after all the struggles and is getting sick of his time with the Bucks. The Bucks this season are 1-5 with Giannis, and they're not much better without him. They're an 11th seed. The team is terrible this year. They fully rely on Giannis. Outside of Giannis, there is really nothing good on that roster. I mean, Ryan Rollins is solid, and Miles Turner is Miles Turner, but they're not changing the world. They're not a second and third best player on a championship team, which is the problem for Giannis. Now, Giannis, he's got 3 years left on his deal, counting a player option when he's 33 years old. The Knicks have had interest in Giannis. Giannis has had interest in the Knicks. This is where things get interesting because the Knicks, we know that they were the one team that Giannis wanted to be traded to. We know that the Knicks actually called the Bucks and did have trade discussions surrounding Giannis. We don't know who was involved. What makes the most sense financially? Karl-Anthony Towns by far. Do the Bucks want Karl-Anthony Towns? Probably not in exchange for Giannis. So what do you do in that situation? You have to find a way to work a 3-team trade out. That's really what you have to do. You have to find a team that Karl-Anthony Towns fits on. You got to trade him there. You got to get that team to give some salary and some capital to the Bucks. And the Knicks also tack on some capital, some draft capital, everything that they can give, whatever young players the Bucks might want, and draft capital to the Milwaukee, while the Knicks also land Giannis in the process, and that is how you land him. So you have to figure out a way to finagle a 3-team trade. That works out for everyone involved. The Knicks and the Bucks have enough space to make that work and get a 3-team trade done because neither team is in the second apron. If you're in the second apron, you're not allowed to get a 3-team trade done. And frankly, the Knicks have to try to figure out a way to do this because at the end of the day, when you look at Giannis, the man is just exactly what you want out of an NBA superstar. Currently, he's shooting 43% from 3 as well, but we're just going to not really look too much into that because that's not sustainable. But he is shooting 64% from the field, which is about what Giannis does while getting a block and a steal per game. And oh yeah, he's averaging 30.6 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Giannis is arguably the best player in the NBA. He has that argument basically every year. He is that great. He would fit perfectly with the Knicks next to Brunson, and it's a move that absolutely should happen. Should the Knicks find a way to make it work, they have the clear favorites to win the finals, or at least get to the finals in the East, and it makes them a much better team. And with Cat not signing an extension, it means it's still in season. If the Knicks can find a way to work it out, it could still happen. What do you guys think? Do you think that has anything to do with it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. Go Knicks.